What's the crack? Welcome back to the Irish Voice podcast. Thanks for joining us this week. We had a bit of a reprieve there while United had a reprieve, but now we are back with the two biggest opium experts in the game, who are probably having hopegasms right now at Manchester United's form. So, yeah, I'll throw it over to you first. 4 topics we want to get through tonight. Obviously, United and Villa. Second I want to talk about is Michael Carrick's chance to get in the job. And then just news in football, because there's so many stories. Just want to talk about football in general for a bit, Case. Afcon, Champions League. It's nuts. It's been a mad year. And then we'll round off with a look towards the weekend. But first off, United versus Villa. Did anyone's head explode when they seen the third goal go in? Big Ben?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Yes, I was proven wrong. I did not think United would beat Villa, and they competently beat Villa, which I was shocked at, but there we go.
Eventually competently.
No, the first half was still a bit... Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to probably agree with you.
The first half was still a bit ropey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it was like shit. I think, don't forget the way they played against Newcastle. I think that was still kind of lingering in the back of my head. Don't know about you guys, but it seemed like a very slow, lethargic again in the first 20 minutes. And I was thinking, here we go again, to be honest. But whatever was said at halftime, Bruno Fernandes was actually unbelievable that game. I think he did a lot to pull us out of that. It made everything tick. Once everything went through Bruno Fernandes, we started to play a lot quicker in the second half. I think we started to wake up. I think the last 10 minutes of the first half, although it wasn't fantastic, we had the best opportunity in the first half. But the first 30 minutes still worried me a bit.
Did you fall asleep there, Rory?
Oh no, sorry. on my feed, Kieran's mouth is like, I can hear the words, but then after he finishes speaking, his mouth is still moving as if.
Oh, there's a lag.
So I wasn't sure if he had spoke, and then I didn't want to cut over the top of him because I thought, right, here come the words. Maybe there's just a bit of a lag, so I waited there for a bit. So no, yeah, I agree. I think, but like seeing the Newcastle game, right? And I'm not going to be negative this week, right? But in the Newcastle game, they stifled Fernandes really well, didn't they?
They had to. Bruno Fernandes has been phenomenal since Michael Carrick took over. But he's got that free role that he can dictate play now. Yeah. He's just been outstanding, and because we were all saying, Fernandes has to go. There's no position for him. In Ruben Amorim's side. And that setup that he had going. But since Michael Carrick has taken over, he's been outstanding.
He's a 10. I said he's a world-class 10 that doesn't have a position in the Ruben Amorim system. He doesn't want to play as a 10 off a striker, stuck out in one corner where you're limited in your involvement in the game. He wants what Kieran said. He wants everything to be played through him, just to be the conduit for all the good play. Now, the big worry is when Newcastle did stop Bruno Fernandes, United looked devoid of other ideas. But I do believe that is... to harp on about it again, the centre midfield. I don't know where this whole big push for Casemiro to spend another year is coming from.
I think it's sentimentality as well.
It is sentimentality. He has been good.
Yeah.
But he gets paid 350 grand a week, okay? He's not going to stay for less money, and if he stays, he's going to want to start, and he shouldn't.
No, I agree.
I don't think Casemiro was playing for any of the other big teams around us to use. Starting him in.
No, I don't think. I think
no,
there's an
Kobe maybe needs for this too. Kobe's not there yet.
Yeah,
definitely not.
No, I
think the Tonali rumours, they're still going strong.
Yeah, seen that today actually. Increasingly more strong as the weeks go on. I think.
Well, apparently that. Sorry, apparently he's they've got in contact with his agent and he's willing to go to Man United. Now, I always thought he would go to one of the Spanish teams or back to Italy, but this is from sources.
Don't see it.
No.
Do you think it's off the back of the fact that it was the last week, the week before, we spoke about in the last episode of, well, Man City being in the race for Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
Which we expect Man City to be, let's be honest, and they'll not be the only club in for him. And I think, obviously we know Manchester United get clicks. Elliot Anderson, like Man City, who's one of that crop of players in the midfield who we can link to United to get more traction on? Sandro Tonali.
Yeah.
He feels like a clickbait link, to be honest. I don't think there's any truth in Sandro Tonali. Sandro Tonali will go back to Italy.
I can
see there was rumours that he wants to go back to. He wants to play continental football. He doesn't want the Premier League if he moves.
Apparently he doesn't like England.
Yeah, I think you said that, didn't you? He's not a big fan of the weather and the culture and everything else.
The food.
The Italians and the Germans find it hard to acclimatise because of the food and the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's very, very different to what they're used to over there culturally. And I mean, you're talking about people who bring their chefs and all with them and who get these nutrition meals and stuff like that there, but they just don't seem to acclimatise very well. So I think Sandro Tonali goes back to Italy. I don't see him in a United shirt. Elliot Anderson is going to be a fun competition between the two Manchesters this summer.
There's Pep's days or goes.
Oh, see, this is it, Kieran. If Pep Guardiola goes, you don't know. I can see, now don't shout me down, right? But we were talking about the last podcast about what manager would you take over Carrick, and we all said Luis Enrique. I can see Enrique going to City.
Well, that's scary.
Maybe they'll go for Ruben Amorim.
That's nightmare stuff. Nightmare stuff.
No, City are more thought out than we are. Luis Enrique to Man City post Pep Guardiola is terrifying.
Yeah, I just thought of it, coming from the like a PSG to take over the juggernaut of City, but that would be that's the only manager that I would have over Michael Carrick at present.
I mean, it would be the natural progression for Luis Enrique. He would just be following in Pep Guardiola's footsteps. He's managed Barcelona. He goes off and he does another continental team, and then he lands at Man City. Man City have Spanish players there. Pep and Luis Enrique are not a million miles away in terms of style of play and what they want. So, yeah, I can see that. Another frightening one is if Xabi Alonso takes on that Liverpool setup. Because I think Liverpool have the players to be much, much better than they are. I think Xabi Alonso is a fantastic coach and showed that at Bayer Leverkusen, and I don't believe Arne Slot is going to last the summer. So you could be going into a transfer window where you've got Luis Enrique and Xabi Alonso potentially looking in the market for building their own team, which would just not be nice. And then Michael Carrick, if he gets the role, does Carrick have the same pull and appeal as a Xabi Alonso or a Luis Enrique? No.
Yeah.
Well, I said no, but maybe Tonali and Anderson. Michael Carrick is a decorated English international who has become renowned at Manchester United for his relaxed, charismatic style. The players are happy, everybody's enjoying themselves, and they're winning. So
true.
It isn't really the risk that we're used to in the past, where it was like, I made the arguments in the past, who wants to come and play for Eric Ten Hag? I'd rather go anywhere else because you just don't see the progression in it. Ruben Amorim, hard to judge because he didn't last very long and he got the transfer targets that he wanted, albeit he then fired sand at us and said, I didn't get all the transfer targets I wanted. If you had bought me the 10 players, I probably could have done something. Fucking doom clown. And then you go and you look further afield at the likes of Jose Mourinho and Louis van Gaal, who said in the past they didn't get back. So I'm saying all this for context. I think Carrick has the optimum setup now to succeed. He's shown us what he wants Man United to be, and we've bought into it, I think, as fans. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
fair, I think on the City and Arsenal form, definitely.
Yeah. And he's coming in at a time where the only shining light in the Premier League has been Arsenal, who have invested quite heavily in their team and who I don't think will go all guns blazing in the transfer market, because I think Kroenke and the lads will sit and turn around and say, well, hold on a minute. we've almost invested $1 billion in this team. I guess you win and you want to keep pushing on and stuff like that, but we don't have to be investing 300-400 million again in the summer,
And so. Do they really need to, Rory?
I mean,
they've got they've a strong squad, a young squad, so they don't really need to invest heavily.
No, Arsenal are going to be a mainstay of the top 4 and Premier League challengers, I think, for the next 3-4 years at least, because they have done a brilliant job of, they have no weakness. David Raya is a brilliant goalkeeper. Saliba and Gabriel, arguably the 2 best in Europe at the minute. Fullbacks, maybe, but Yuri Timber and Calafiori on their day are brilliant. Declan Rice and Subamendi, probably the best midfield in Europe, is it?
And then you've Odegaard and Eze in there too.
Odegaard and Eze to play in your 10 spot is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nuts. Martinelli, Saka, Madueke, the Trossard. Brilliant depth. Phenomenal depth. Havertz.
That's what I mean, a good squad.
Good squad.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and the ball Gakura's in too, and unless a few players leave, like a Jesus leaves, or something like that, one or two players maybe, that they'll not be spending big in the summer, I don't think.
No, I just don't think they will. I don't think they have to. I think that's the big thing. I don't think they have to.
It's a nice position, isn't it?
But yeah, I think back to what we were originally talking about, there could be some managerial merry-go-round stuff in the summer with the way some other teams have played. I don't think Pep leaves, Mum. I think he's there for another year. I think he'll see out the contract.
He could do.
He's starting to cut a very frustrated figure.
Do you think so? I thought he took the Champions League defeat really, really well.
He got a yellow card too, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's a passionate guy. His team's getting beat. I don't like the rhetoric that every single thing, it's like a storm in a teacup every single time something happens. Pep got beat by Real Madrid last night, so he has to be leading Man City. What?
I know, I'm not saying I'm over that.
Not over
but he's
that.
Not very frustrated in some of the matches in the Premier League.
That doesn't mean he's going to walk away from his job.
I'm not saying that. I said there's a possibility.
Yeah, I know, but I am just saying I don't think cutting a frustrated figure is enough to turn around and say, Pep could be going, looks frustrated. But he's losing. What do you want him to look like? As if he doesn't give a fuck? He's never going to be like that. He's a heart in his sleeve type of guy. He's annoyed because his team aren't playing the way he wants them to play. That does not mean that Pep Guardiola will not come back like a force of nature next season and take one last year to try and blitz the Premier League and prove he's the best that has ever done it in the Premier League. Because Pep Guardiola, if he was to win it in his last season, can be held up there in the same tier as Alex Ferguson. It's the same transformational change.
Yeah.
He has dominated the Premier League.
Yeah. And you've the money, the bank checkbook to do it. It's easy enough.
So did Ferguson. Manchester United fans, we can't be salty because there was a time period, and I'm talking about the Rio Ferdinands and stuff of this world, where we were the only commercial force in the Premier League and we just stole our rival and competitors' best players with ease. So we did it for years, and then I think it's a very easy thing for fans to turn around and say, Guardiola got a blank checkbook. Yes, he did. They were a commercial juggernaut and manipulated finance and stuff, but until proven guilty, their success is their success. But for Manchester United fans, I think at the minute, when you look at the Aston Villa game, the real positives that came from the Villa game was their 20-minute blip, right, which is becoming a constant, is really frustrating.
Yeah.
But when they start clicking, they are actually very good. Like Fernandes ball to Cunha, and Cunha's finish is phenomenal.
Did Sesko's goal? Did you see the highlights of it?
No.
Apparently, every single player had a touch of the ball before that goal went
in. So it's team goal. Well, I have a theory on our slow starts to matches, right? We're not playing enough matches. There's too much of a break between the matches that we're playing. When you keep the momentum going and then an international break comes along, you go, that's the worst possible time to have a break.
Yeah.
I think that's why we're slow, and that's why we're slow to get the momentum going, to get that impetus going on the pitch.
Match rhythm.
Yeah, match rhythm.
Okay. No.
But I knew you were going to say
could be
no.
possibility.
Because I tell you what, you just said it, right? You know, when you're going a buzz and you're in momentum and you're in form and stuff like that. But United lost their last match. So the time to reset and tactically train.
Yeah, but there's too much time. That's what I'm saying. There's too much time between. We're not in any competitions. So we're playing once every, 10 days? Or, there's that break that you can't keep that momentum going.
Yeah, but if you flip that and you're playing 2 games a week, then you'd have to rotate the squad. And what's standing by Michael Carrick at the minute is that he doesn't have to rotate the squad, because if he rotates the squad and takes that team out, I shudder to think what would happen.
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, it's not that. All I'm saying is that could probably be contributing to the slow starts in matches.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I would argue the point and say when United got in form.
Of course you would argue
Carrick, the point. But honestly, they were playing game after game when Carrick first came in, and we were in form, and it wasn't affecting us. And then they turned to shit, and again, you're trying to make excuses for it. I think Manchester United are a shit football team, playing brilliant stuff under Michael Carrick. And Bruno Fernandes is world class. So he will dig us out as often as he can, which he's doing. And if he has a shit game, you're going to lose. Simple as. Newcastle being the case in point. No?
No.
Okay.
The excuse then is if United win and play well, which you did for most of that game, is they go, oh, sure, Villa's played in Europe during the week. That's why they got tired. That's why United won. I'm sick of hearing it.
No, United deserve to beat Aston Villa. But I do think Villa having to play on Thursday night is a contributing factor. And I'm not going to sit here on a hopium train and say that Manchester United are a good football team and deserve to be where they are. Michael Carrick came in, got us enough points to push us up that table, and he's doing enough to get us over the line. And I think he's managing that team brilliantly. I think he's one of the shining lights of the season in his man and game management. I said once Carrick loses, the testament to Michael Carrick would be, could he come back and win? And he didn't just beat Villa, he beat them competently. You know, it was 3-1. It's not like they've limped over the line. They looked like they could have scored again at the end of the game. They were going for it. It's brilliant to see. But I'm not going to sit here and be fooled and say, you know, they're a good football team. They're not. The goalkeeper is decent. The centre-backs aren't good. The full-backs aren't good. The midfield is not good. Bruno Fernandes is a world-class superstar when he's played in the right position. I like Cunha and Mbeumo. The jury's out in Benjamin Sesko starting. They're not a great football team. They're not a top 4 football team. So I think, to Mum's original point, I think it works in our favour that we're not playing all these games.
It does. It works in our favour.
He gets enough time.
Sorry, go on ahead, Ray.
He gets enough time to do what Ruben Amorim cried out about. And that's work with the guys in the training ground, come up with a game plan for each game, see that game plan through, test the game plan, and then implement the game plan. And Amorim was turning around and saying it's not fair because every 3 days I've got a football match. And now we're flipping it again because it doesn't suit us, and we're saying, oh, well, it really doesn't suit us that we're not playing every 3 days. You know, it's an excuse engine at the minute for Manchester.
I'm not talking about the results. I was talking about the slow starts to the game. That's why it takes us so long to get a bit of rhythm going.
Yeah. Why can it not just be that we're not a good football team and it takes 20 minutes for us to settle into the football game or to get Bruno Fernandes on the ball?
We're not a complete team at all, I don't think.
Is that not the simpler excuse? Everybody's up for it at the start of a football game, right? So for the first 20 minutes, you've got a true reflection of who is there, what the quality is, what the talent is. When you play a bigger team like Villa are the better team. It's not even debatable, even when you beat them. Villa are the better football team. But United did very, very well to manage that game. The biggest plus of Michael Carrick's reign in our game management, apart from Newcastle, has been brilliant. And Newcastle, it was a fucking brilliant goal. Couldn't take it away from that lad. It was a brilliant goal. And Newcastle needed that because they were getting nothing more goals. I did say I'm not going to jump on the hopium train where Mum is sitting there going, we're third, we're going to rule the fucking world next year.
What?
No, we're not.
Why was I hopium? No, I wasn't. I just made a point. That's all I made. I'm not being hopium.
It was
I'm saying we're a brilliant football team. Oh my God, we're definitely getting top 4 because top 4 is still contested. It has to be contested.
United will get top 4 now. There's no one around us to challenge us.
Well, I can't see that Chelsea team going any further.
It's going for us and so long because, teams like Chelsea and Liverpool are dropping points and they will continue to drop points.
Yeah.
And we don't have the squad or the squad to have a competent first 11 football team. We can get away with not having a great midfield that pushes the ball forward. We can get away with, having Diogo Dalot in our bloody team. Bruno Fernandes is a world superstar and will win us games. And our forward line is competent, and Benjamin Sesko is growing into that United shirt. I think when he gets a chance, he scores, and he's doing well in the last 10 games. But I think it's because you only have the light schedule, and it's working well for us, and we're sitting in third. Happy days.
Yeah. That's not hopium, Rory, by the way. That's just reality.
No, but I can accept that. Kieran's summarisation of Manchester United at the minute is perfect. They don't have the same games as everyone else. Everyone else is fucking up. We can all see it. If you need a fluke fourth, happy days. Just don't convince me that it's not lucky, because it is. If a full-flying Chelsea still had their manager that they had at the start of the season and he didn't have his wobble, Chelsea would be above us. I truly believe that. Arsenal or Arsenal. Man City or Man City. Liverpool under Slot? I know what that is. That's Liverpool's fault for putting an Eric Ten Hag-esque figure in there. And I don't know what happened with the Chelsea manager. I truly thought that he had his blow up because he wanted a different job, but now he's not working, so I don't really understand what happened there. The Chelsea one is the anomaly in this equation. United could have taken Villa over the course of the season. I think we're not a million miles away from that Aston Villa team. Spurs are far too good to be in a relegation fight. They're in a relegation fight this year. And it leads into that point that I was talking about in world football. It is mental this year. Mental. Absolutely crazy. You have 6 English teams in the Champions League, right? And I think one of them is going through. I think Liverpool, if they go down to Galatasaray, are going to brick themselves. And then that could be huge ramifications for all of Europe. Because the top 5 that we talk about will be gone.
Yeah, it could be top 4.
Italy and Spain will take those.
I think
Newcastle, it's a big ask for Newcastle tonight as well.
I think they've gone ahead.
Who have?
Newcastle. Anthony Elanga.
Are Newcastle winning?
Are they playing early?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Is it 2-1?
It's 2 each.
2 each? An aggregate?
No, it's 3-3 on aggregate. It's 2 each on the night. So Rafinha scored first in the 6th minute. Then Anthony Elanga scored to make it 1-1. Then Bernal scored to make it 2-1 Barcelona. And Anthony Elanga has scored in the 28th minute to equalise. So Elanga scored twice. What a let go he was, by the way. Stupid. But yes, 2 each on the night. We need Newcastle to win and go through.
Yeah.
Or Liverpool.
They're not making a bad show of themselves now. I think Liverpool will hopefully be in Anfield. I know Galatasaray is a nightmare cauldron to go to be fair. It's not easy for any Premier League teams to go there.
No, it is tough.
They're not at home tonight.
Yeah, Liverpool's at home now.
They are. They are. But I mean, if they go a goal down and they start stuttering and misstepping and stuff, it's...
Yeah, especially if that crowd gets nervous.
Yeah, now I know that we are 6 points clear of Chelsea and we're 5 points clear of Liverpool, but I don't think you can take it for granted that we're going to win every game till the end of the year. So you'd rather have 5th place for a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
So Hopium Brigade, does Michael Carrick get the job?
It depends. If we can't get best in class, then yeah.
If he gets top 4, he's got a good chance. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 different opinions. Kieran says if you can't get someone else that's better than him, then yes. And Mum says if you get top 4, you should get it.
Well, they're not going to get Luis Enrique. Who else is out there?
So Luis Enrique is the only manager in the world better than Michael Carrick.
No, that I would take over Michael Carrick. Yes.
Okay, so let's examine the likelihoods that get linked with Manchester United jobs, okay? Luis Enrique is a given. Nobody's going to say no to Luis Enrique, okay?
No.
Would you take Julian Nagelsmann?
No.
How come?
So I don't like his style of play, for a start.
Okay.
And I don't like his personality either, to be quite honest with you.
Okay. Pedigree-wise, better than Carrick, though, yeah?
Pedigree-wise, yeah.
Oh, yeah, what he's done in the game, yeah, who he's managed and stuff like that, yeah, he's more experienced that way.
So I suppose without being argumentative, I'm trying to see where is your bar. Is it just a case if you like Carrick or you feel safe with Carrick, or what's the thinking there? Julian Nagelsmann's a better coach.
Huh?
Julian Nagelsmann is available. He is a better coach, but no to Julian Nagelsmann.
No.
Okay. What about Ancelotti?
No.
He doesn't want the job.
Apparently he does. Or he did.
Apparently he says
no, Ancelotti's I'm going to be ageist here because I'm older than you. I think he's too old for the job. He's too, what would I say, it's set in his ways, and he didn't do a great job with Everton now, did he? Well, he didn't.
Listen to what you just said.
What?
Carlo Ancelotti, the Don, right? Mr. Champions League. Came in to manage Everton, got Everton into the European places, played European football with Everton, didn't do a great job. Are you on drugs?
Probably.
What's the standard there again? This you seem to have no bar, no standard. It's just, this is what I think, right? Can't tell you why, but this is what I think.
Well, we can't get Ancelotti anyway because he's extended his job at Brazil.
Has he? Okay, right.
Apparently so has Nagelsmann as well.
Yeah.
Who's Nagelsmann managing?
Germany.
I was thinking of Hansi Flick.
No, Nagelsmann was German.
That's right. Nagelsmann's manager of Germany. Yeah. What about Tommy Tuk Tuk?
Oh.
Tuk Tuk.
Oh, God. No.
Would you?
No. Premier League trophy, Champions League trophy.
Yeah, I know what he has, and I know his pedigree and stuff like that, but yeah, he's, I don't know, he's a very controversial figure.
I don't know. If it works and the players fucking play for them, let them at it. They have a higher pedigree than Michael Carrick. And I don't want to fall into the trap here of sticking with Carrick like Ollie, because Carrick's your boy. Yeah. Carrick's a United legend. Everyone likes him. The likeable factor. That's going to wear off at some point. And you're going to have to be a damn good football team to challenge for the top of the Premier League and the Champions League when we get there. So having a Tuchel, having a Tuchel or an Ancelotti or a Nagelsmann, whoever it is, if the experience and the pedigree is higher than Carrick and they play attractive football, which is what we all love to see, and with Manchester United, and it plays the right players, the right positions, not this 3 at the back nonsense, then thanks Carrick, you done your bit, you got us in the Champions League, but it's time to step aside. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm only thinking there. Sorry, where I cut across you a bit. If we're talking about like a De Zerbi or someone that's had the similar experience, that'd be a risk. You know what I'm saying? It'd be more of another risk. Whereas you could play a bit safe with Carrick for a season or two, if you're them top targets that we just spoke about there weren't available, or maybe didn't want to leave their current jobs at the minute, then by all means I would stick with Carrick for a year or two, and we make the sign.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and if we get the budget for the Champions League, we will be a better team next year, regardless. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think my list is Eddie Howe, Unai Emery, and Michael Carrick. And if they can't entice Unai Emery or Eddie Howe to leave Newcastle or Aston Villa respectively, then it has to be Michael Carrick.
Do you think Eddie Howe and Unai Emery have taken Villa and Newcastle the higher they can?
Yeah, I do. I think Newcastle, their biggest issue is their depth, and their depth is a consequence of their financial situation. And I think we can offer Eddie Howe a more robust squad and a better setup with better training facilities and more of an established environment to come into. Unai Emery doesn't need that because Unai Emery is Unai Emery. He will get United winning. He's done it everywhere that he's gone. He got such criticism at Arsenal because they couldn't let him take the time that it took, and they found him a divisive character in the dugout, and then he just went to Aston Villa and he's just done what he does. He's just a winner. So I think Unai Emery won't set the world on fire at Manchester United, but he could keep us consistently top four, and he could really stabilise that football club. You know how I feel about Eddie Howe. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think he's just a brilliant coach. So I would take Eddie Howe in a heartbeat. But if I couldn't get Eddie Howe, then I would take Michael Carrick. I don't think Eddie Howe would go to United if United are ballsy enough to go and approach him. But I don't know if Unai Emery would. But if it was me and it wasn't Carrick, I would hire Eddie Howe in the morning in a heartbeat.
Would you take Howe over Carrick?
These are the right temperament.
Does
They're in the Champions League. Yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. Yeah. I think Newcastle could have pushed on to being consistently top four if they weren't stuck in that FFP nightmare that they're in, where they have to sell to buy and all of that stuff in the summer and sell academy products each summer to try and finance the bare minimum of their transfer strategy. You know, if you look at Newcastle and the situation they found themselves in with Alexander Isak, you know, Isak goes out the door and they end up with Almeida and Visa. And that's kind of the way they went because they proactively thought they would be able to keep Alexander Isak, but they're not a big football club. Like, if you lose your best player to one of your rivals who's in the top four race with you, it's a testament to the size of club you are. Manchester United would not allow Liverpool to come in and sign their star striker. Bruno Fernandes would not be going to Liverpool. It would not happen. And I think that possibly at the wrong moment for Eddie Howe, opened his eyes as to what Newcastle are. They're a team that will always be punching for the next 2-3 years to try and get up there. But until they can build the infrastructure that City had, they're stuck. They're stuck.
Yeah, and you look at the targets that they went for. You know, two clubs went for you, Newcastle or Manchester United. Yeah, the same targets as us. Mbeumo, Cunha.
Yeah.
All chose Manchester United. Yeah.
Spurs did the same. Spurs tried to compete with the name of Manchester United after a disaster show, and United were able to show that no, we're still Manchester United.
You know, absolutely.
Still has that lure appeal.
You know, I think that lure.
So that would be. That's my short list, guys. It's very Premier League centric. I don't want foreign muck coming in from outside. When I say foreign muck, mother, it's not foreigners. It's foreign muck from European leagues and that crap that I see you sharing on Instagram with this fucking nobody that comes from the German league annoys the crap out of me. The midfielder guy that is touted all the time. What do you call him?
Oh, the guy who spoke about that last time.
Yeah, the Ivory Coast guy.
Shite.
Yeah, it's only a person of interest.
He's shite.
Rumours.
I have no idea who he is. Rumours and bullshit, that's right.
Rumours and bull. That's
Instagram bullshit.
It better be bullshit because he is mock.
Well, they're asking far too much for him anyway.
Yeah. Carlos Baleba is starting to come around. Rumours going to come around again.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
No. And the Tonali's just all over the place. That's all you're seeing. Your Alison's gone quiet, and just Tonali and Baleba.
I just don't see Tonali in the United shirt. It just doesn't make sense to me. Barcelona are beating Newcastle, by the way. Lamine Yamal scored a penalty at the end of the half.
And they're putting up good fights, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say they're still in it.
Yeah,
they've done brilliant. They should have hammered them in the first leg.
Didn't watch the first leg.
They're unlucky not to come away with the first leg as well, that penalty in the last kick.
Yeah, they were brilliant. Just such a silly mistake by the defender at the end of the game. But to be fair, they could have scored 3 or 4 in that first half. They had Barcelona on toast and just couldn't finish the ball. He started with Ulasi or Ululu or something up front, whoever that is. And Visa and Valmeda was sick, and Visa's just come back from injury. And I just thought, if you had a recognised striker, you would be putting the supposed best team in the world to absolute shame here.
I know. And I think like Eddie, he wanted so bad. Like you could tell how bad they wanted to keep Alexander Isak. Like he's been.
I think he felt betrayed when Isak went to strike.
Yeah, I think he was the spear point of their good form, doing so well. I think. If they had been able to keep him at least a year or two, and then get into the Champions League with Isak and as your striker, different ball game altogether. Yeah. I think, and like especially in the Premier League qualifying for the next season's Champions League, to try and get into do way better in the transfer market, and not can compete to try and show that you're pushing to be that top in the top 6 or one of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. Which is the problem that Newcastle have.
If they can retain their owners, they will get there, Kieran. They have too much capital behind them to not get there. It's just how quick it takes to get there. So, in other news of the world stories, what about Afcon?
Yeah, Mazraoui, Afcon champion.
Oh, that to me is a bit out there.
Yeah, I've never seen that happen, but it was deemed a forfeit or something in the walk up pitch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it basically said rules are rules. You exited the pitch, that's a forfeit.
Exactly.
You lose the cup. Nobody can make a decision in the heat of the moment. It's re-reviewed. The referees breached the rules. You're not champions anymore.
It took them a while to come to that conclusion, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Morocco took the Afghan representatives to court and said it was a misruling. It was a misabuse of power in the rules.
I wouldn't like to win a tournament that way, though.
No.
I know, I get you. Rules are rules. Everybody has to adhere to them. Yeah.
Also, read the room. Like, when your tournament is getting such grief for the time that it's played at and all of the rest, and then you go and do that, it makes it look even more farcical. Now, I personally enjoyed watching the Afcon. I thought it was good crack. Some really contrasting styles of football in it.
Very.
Some lack of football in it, if we're being really, really honest.
Very.
But it was brilliant entertainment. And then you watch them do that and you're like, you're playing in the media now. They are talking about extending the playoff places, or they have extended the playoff places now for the lower leagues. Did I understand that correctly?
In
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from next season. It's so that
is this from the championship down here?
I've only heard that they're maybe doing it with the championship next season. So
6
at the
teams.
minute, so at the minute the top 1 qualifies automatically, or top 2 is it?
Top 2.
Top 2. So top 2 stays the same. They go into the Premier League, and then it was 6. I think then they're extending that 6 that go into the playoffs to 8. Is it 8 or 10? Just to make it a bigger, like, mini tournament, I suppose. More of a spectacle.
First qualifies, champions. Second qualifies, second place.
Third, and then the 4 after that
are 8th will go into. Yeah. But how does 6 teams compete a playoff tournament?
That doesn't make sense.
What's the format? Can't be 1v1 because 6 teams.
Or maybe they're going to do it a table thing,
Do it like a table, like
everybody. Yeah.
Like Scotland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what Scotland.
Scotland divide the table once it's coming to the end, and the top people play the top people, and the bottom people play the bottom people.
Yeah.
And what knock-on effect does that have on relegate?
They could do that. They can do it that way.
It sounds like
because I think over the last number of years, I think the championship has gotten,
Oh, okay.
more televised.
3rd and 4th automatically qualify for the playoff semi-finals.
Right. Okay.
8th team will play the 6th team. The 7th team will play the 5th team.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Sorry, 5th will play 8th and 6th will play 7th. That's the way they're doing it.
And it's just a championship, isn't it?
I don't know if they're doing the lower leagues, but the championship is trialing it from next year. It's to give more games into the championship and allow more teams a chance at going up into the Premier League. But I mean, if you finish 8th in the championship, should you really be going to the Premier League?
No. That's unfair because, I mean, like the league is a slog. It's over 38, 42 games, whatever they play in the championship. And then you're, say, 10 points ahead of the opponent you're playing in a knockout game.
What's the point?
They can qualify over you, but you're 10 points. You finish 10 points ahead of them in the league.
Aim for it.
Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to me.
I think the way they're trying to stagger it is you don't want to play the 8th team doesn't want to play the 5th team, so you want to move yourself out of that position. You want to get into the middle positions of 6th and 7th, and that's where they're trying to add the jeopardy angle into it. It sounds crap.
It sounds unfair as well.
It sounds like the championship have sat around the table and gone, here, the Premier League teams are making a fortune from the amount of games that they play and get on TV. How could we capitalise on that? And they've decided, let's throw 2 more teams into the playoffs, and then we'll have an extra 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Bit of a cash grab. So, looking forward to the weekend. Who wins the Carabao Cup final?
Oh, was that this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday.
Right.
I think I'm going to go with bowling. I think City's going to beat them.
Oh, score.
And Arsenal's going to wobble 2-0.
Oh, Arsenal don't score?
Nope.
You mad bastard.
Heard here first.
I think the opposite. I think Arsenal do them 2-0.
Good.
I think it's 2-1. My favourite score.
I could see Arsenal winning the treble. Not the treble, but I could see Arsenal winning domestic treble. I think PSG will take the Champions League again.
They're scary.
They're
absolutely scary.
That lad Kvaratskhelia is a baller.
Oh my god. Yeah, brilliant footballer.
Frightening how good he is. On to our game, guys. United versus Bournemouth. Kieran, what way will that go? Give me your synopsis.
Ooh, I think it'll be a slug. I think. Oh, you're laughing. I think we're away from home, right? And our best games have been at Old Trafford since Carragher's taken over. I think Bournemouth away has historically in the last couple of years been a bit of another bogey ground for us. Haven't played that well.
Yeah.
I think if we start slow and Bournemouth are more physical and get stuck around Bruno Fernandes as Newcastle did, I think that's the blueprint away from home. When we're playing away from home, they could prove very difficult to get over the line. It'll be a draw. I'm seeing a draw.
Oh, score draw or 0-0?
Score draw. Well, 2-2.
Okay.
So Sesko will get the rescue.
Again.
Okay. Mother?
Yes, I agree with Kieran. That was my scoreline. 2-2.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't think they'll beat Bournemouth away. We'll just, as I say, I agree with both of you. I think the blueprint for containing United is to suffocate Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious. It should be very obvious to any manager in the next X number of games.
Yeah, I mean, Bournemouth don't lose a whole pile of games, do they?
Not at home.
I think I seen that Bournemouth haven't lost a competitive football match since the start of January.
It's a good record.
Wasn't Bournemouth?
There's a lot of draws in there, but they haven't actually got beat.
Yeah, wasn't it Bournemouth? That was the big 4-4 game, wasn't
it? Yes.
4-8?
Awesome, Bournemouth. Yes, it was. That was back when Semenyo was at Bournemouth, but yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've lost the menu now, so maybe hopefully I'll go on our.
They don't lose a whole mile. A draw would be fair.
Yeah,
but it would be a big statement for Carrick if he's the first person to beat Bournemouth since Arteta did on January 3rd.
Yeah,
that'd be a huge.
And he does it at Bournemouth.
Yeah.
You know, this would be another feather in the cap of a man that is starting to build up some pretty impressive scalps of top class Premier League managers.
Yeah. Well, now.
Did I hear correctly? Carrick is 100% at Old Trafford when wins.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he drawn?
He's unbeaten. Did he draw one?
Is that what it is? He's unbeaten at Old Trafford?
I think so. No,
so if he can do Bournemouth and he has a home game after that, it's looking tasty for top 4. Don't even need 5th place.
No, I think that's what you need. If you can go to Bournemouth and get, I don't care how we get it, if we get the result of Bournemouth away, and we can get a good gap before we have to play Chelsea and play Liverpool at Old Trafford on the 2nd of May. You know, where there's only a game or two left. Right. We'll be flying. We'll be happy with that.
Top 4 cemented.
Yeah.
For all my arguing back, I do think you need to make top 4.
Yeah, and you know, it's not.
Yeah.
You don't know what Carrick's. We've seen the performances, and you do know what Carrick's going to, if he's going to get any more out of this team. And you know, after the games of the weekend, you know, could we catch City? You know, it's 6 points, isn't it? 5 or 6 points behind City.
The short answer to that is yes.
Can mathematically?
I think United could.
They could.
And not even like it's mathematically possible. I think it's not on the course of this season. If Carrick can beat Bournemouth, if he builds on the Villa momentum, Kieran.
Yeah,
I think he might catch City.
After Bournemouth, it's Leeds at home at Old Trafford, I think.
We're 7 points behind City.
7, okay.
7. Oh, 7's a push. But you know what? If Arteta gets first blood for the season this weekend and they are the League Cup champions, it could be a hammer blow to City's confidence because they're reeling at the minute anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's usually Pep's trophy to get a springboard. I think that's Carabao Cup. Historically.
He's a fantastic cup final manager because you never know what he's going to do. You can't look at pre-existing City games and templates and think, oh, this is what Pep's going to do. What he's phenomenal at is doing something outlandish that just works.
Yeah, well, they're 9 points behind Arsenal now in the league.
They're not winning the league, Mum.
Yeah.
Mathematically, it's possible.
Mathematically. There's always a mathematically.
You're
saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. I just don't think that Arsenal are going to concede 3 games before the end of the year.
No, I can't say it.
Does City not have a game in hand?
No.
City have to play Arsenal, though.
No, everybody's in 30 games except Wolves are in 31.
No, I'm right. Arsenal in 31.
Arsenal in 31 as well, yeah. I was going to say that has to be another team then on 31.
It's Arsenal. So, if City won their game in hand, 6 points the difference.
Mm-hmm. And City have to play Arsenal in the league as well.
All to play for still. Well, folks, thank you so much for this week. Hopefully it'll be more hopium next week. Any more of this hopium, my mother might have a stroke. But we will hopefully see her back next week. We're going to do every Wednesday moving forwards, guys, yeah? So it'll be live on a Thursday. We should be more consistent moving forwards. I've changed jobs. Kieran is back working in
dogs are going to hit me on Thursdays now.
Yep.
So make sure you check us out in the socials and then check back us in with us every Thursday where we will sit and talk shit about the lives of Manchester United fans. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Well,